but, we quarantine the sick, not the healthy.
Right.
That's what's
That's right.
happened.
That's right.
We've been quarantined the healthy, and so we're getting sick because we're quarantined the healthy, not allowing them to breathe fresh air, not allowing them to just live normal, lives. And we've lived through, because my husband's been here since 1966, I've been here since 1975, so that's why we've probably seen faces and things. But the thing is, we've lived through several epidemics, or I don't know why they're calling this one pandemic, but epidemics, whatever. We've lived through several SARS,
Right.
Tuberculosis is more infectious than.
H1N1,
yeah,
right?
we've lived through all of them, and my mother's, she's 80 and she's lived through it. She goes, I don't know why they're doing this. This is crazy, But we know it's all a political ploy to destroy the people. It is just to destroy the people, and so we're like, we're done. We've lost businesses. People are losing their homes, whether mortgage or, rentals, and we want to be healthy again. We want to be, and emotionally, not just physically,
Right.
and we can't really trust God that He takes care, that Psalms 91, He takes care of us, pestilence on the left and the right, He will take care of us, but we need to obey the laws of health. A lot of us.
Psalms 191 has some marvelous promises in it, but you have to also pay attention to the conditions for those promises.
Right, and I'm a Christian, I really appreciate that, that's my mom's favorite, she'll
Oh,
say
I
that.
do too. I
From
do
your,
too.
from your perspective, since we don't, I don't know if you have your job, but we don't do what you do. We don't fight, whatever. From your position, what would you suggest from us to people? What else can we do? If we were to email,
Well,
what else do we do?
emailing will help, we're gonna send out a statement, and, I've made some revisions to the first draft on that, but it's to make sure that people understand that Canyon County never mandated wearing masks.
Right.
The stores took it on them. I go into Costco, I wear one because I like shopping at Costco, but I don't support it. Anywhere I can go where I don't get stopped at the door, I don't wear that. But, I think it's important that we hear from people. And what you're saying is, this is what I want the message, do you care that Canyon County will not receive $45 million?
We don't
And the
want
answer
to go back
I think it
to
would
work.
be
We don't want
detrimental.
the money to go back to
As you
work.
said,
Right? I wanna be
how will this be paid back?
By
That's
us,
what,
Our
right.
grandkids.
by us,
That's exactly right.
by
I didn't get
my
your name
children.
either.
My
My name's
grandchildren.
Alicia.
Alicia, and you look familiar too, so.
I've been around.
A long time.
Yes,
Oh, did
but that's why I'm like, just imploring you, please somehow
Yes.
tune in tomorrow
Agreed.
if you can't
Agreed.
physically be present to vote no. I feel like you're gonna vote no, but I'm imploring you to please vote no,
Is there
Me
any
as well.
other,
to be active in the vote.
how many of you are there just 3 of you?
There are 3 county commissioners. The
That will vote.
decision ultimately rests, no matter what the other elected officials think, that's made very clear by the legal staff. But there's a lot of political pressure, and I'm telling you, I've got a lot of scars in
May
my
I
back
ask?
from standing up, because there's bullies in this county.
Yeah.
Yes. And may I ask, is that the new commissioner
Yes, and she
on
is
the
a
Southwest District Board?
Yes, and she is a good leader. She's trying to, and reasoned discourse, I don't have a problem with that. She's got, 2 months in the seat, so she's trying to weigh and evaluate information. I've sat through
Yeah, I
12
seen her
of
at her
these.
first meeting.
Okay, I'm trying to, evaluate, and I've been doing it for 12 months, and that's where I'm at.
So she could potentially override your vote.
Not
That's kind of what I
override.
saw.
No.
It'll be her, Pam White, and then yourself.
Yes,
So it's just you 3,
it takes 2 out of 3,
right?
and so.
Where
if-
do you feel Pam White stands
Oh,
on it?
she's gonna vote for it, no questions, hands down.
So she just said that she's in favor of it.
She's in favor of
Terry said.
evaluating what the ramifications are, not that we would take any money, and that's what we did.
But her vote as a yes to continue
To
it
continue the emergency
would
declaration.
continue the order.
Yes,
And therefore, nothing changes for the rest of us.
Correct.
Our lives only change when this order ends,
Mhm.
whether it be Canyon County or another county or statewide. Our lives only officially go back to normal because these
Yes.
businesses, these hospitals, they're all following the order.
Yes,
Mhm.
It's not just, oh, it's a private business, so they're doing it their way, even though we have never said there's a mask mandate. They're enforcing it. No, they're doing it because the order is there.
I spoke with
If the order is removed, they more than likely will
Yes.
release those, restrictions
Mandates,
upon the people.
Right.
I know several people, including myself, that have had medical mistreatment, medical neglect, patient neglect, and including infringement on our patient rights.
Yes.
Because we either cannot medically tolerate wearing a mask,
Mm-hmm.
or have felt ill from wearing a mask. I myself wore one once, and I collapsed in the hospital in St. Luke's here in Nampa. And I have a cardiologist that I can no longer see because that is where he is. And he would not treat me without one.
Mm-hmm.
And 2019, I had 2 echocardiograms, so I need to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who has a huge tumor cyst on her throat that she cannot receive the care she needs, and it's starting to cut into the veins that are also connecting up into the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Her swallowing mechanism has been hindered. She could die from this
Mm-hmm.
because it is so large. She has tried to be seen at every clinic, every hospital, and she herself has low blood oxygen level when wearing a mask. It drops under 80,
Mm-hmm.
and they're refusing her to be seen or treated.
Well,
So
It's insanity.
there's several
It's
stories where
absolute
people are
insanity.
actually dying from lack of treatment or patient neglect due to the COVID restrictions in place. Therefore, due to the emergency order in place
Right.
under the county.
Right, and
Suicide, child abuse,
right.
drug
Oh,
addiction,
correct, all of that. The
depression.
schools, Yeah.
Did the other district commissioners understand that? Do they know that? I mean, are what we say, what we're saying,
Do they listen to
since
us?
you guys have a job and it's very time consuming, right? And you do what you do every day. We do different, right? Our lives are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
We know what we know. What she just explained. Are they aware of those
I think
things
so.
because they're so consumed with whatever they're doing? Or how do we make them aware of what's really like out?
What you
In
would,
life.
I think, and I'm not gonna tell you what to say, but with a clear understanding, if the community understands, we don't care how much money the federal government gives us. We understand you're not mandating masks. I would use the language that they're putting out there. Do you have a copy of this?
No, can we
No.
get a copy?
I would
Thank you.
use that information to make your argument against it, and then I would send it in, let me get my other- there it is. So,
That's why I'm kind of appalled because when I got here this morning, I heard you and I heard her say that the majority, if not all the emails you received from the general public
Right.
was no, vote no.
and they're arguing
But
that the
yet
public
she's-
doesn't understand that there's no mask mandate tied to this.
We don't care about that
That-
point.
Yeah,
That
I
point
think
is
what they
mute.
don't understand
when
is
you
it's,
go-
it's the executive order that allows all this to continue. If you cancel that, then everything else falls back into place.
Mhm.
He spoke about the emails being misguided. I
Mhm.
think that they are misguided in what we are actually, they're not listening to us.
Right.
They're misguided by their motive and intent. Their motive and intent is not pure. They don't generally care about the people. They don't generally care about our well-being and our true health and wellness. And that's what I hear from this new gal. I wanna know where her motivation is coming from. Cause I already have a feeling, but I'm not gonna state that here.
Mhm.
And,
She's a good commissioner,
I hope that she will be a good commissioner.
Mhm.
But if she's got the wrong voices whispering in her ear,
That's always, I went
we're
and sat
gonna,
with the,
we're gonna have a problem.
yeah, I sat with a new representative who's a Christian, and, Monday I attended a week ago, their legislative session. I said, how's it going? He said, there's so many sharks in this tank, it's so
Yes.
cutthroat. It's a lot.
Yes.
People can talk about deep state corruption at the federal level, I'm telling you.
It's
here in
local.
McAllen.
It's
You
big
know,
at the
it
local
is.
level.
It's from bottom up.
And that's why I was like, will you be here tomorrow? Because I had a really good feeling, energy
Yeah.
from you. And
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
feel
We all
for the
did.
first
As soon
time,
as you
I'm
started
standing in
speaking,
front
I
of
was like,
someone
Yes.
who genuinely does care about all the things I
Wisdom.
just stated.
Mhm.
Where I'm not
Common sense.
feeling that from the the new
It's,
commissioner,
she's spoken
I'm
about,
feeling
like,
that
the hospitals,
something's, there's
like the-
voices, louder voices whispering in her ear than what the public is saying.
There we go.
She just stated that almost all the emails, if not, like I said, if not all, that
All
you
of the
guys have
emails.
both received, have been, please vote no. Why is that? Why is our voice not the louder voice?
Mm-hmm.
What is the incentive to vote in favor of something that is destroying our lives?
A lot of political pressure, I'll just tell you.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, where's the conviction?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the moral integrity?
And I wrestle over
More
these, I'm
pressure.
put together, God's put me together in a way that, those foundational elements that drive my decision making, I have to make well-reasoned arguments, and I do that every day of the week on those quasi-judicial.
Right.
We touch every branch of government, and so.
Just you standing here right now, taking this time when you have somewhere else to be,
And
shows,
the fact that they weren't interested in.
absolutely, she's walked out the door.
Well, she can't violate open meeting, and so we really can't, what that
Okay.
means is that there can't be two of us in the same room.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah, there,
Oh.
we.
Well, then
pick
we're
it.
grateful for your time.
But you know
Yes.
what, and I like to do this, this is all part of why I ran for office,
Well,
because.
you show us who you are.
yes.
Yeah.
This is the
Well,
first
yeah,
time
you-
I've ever faced you, and I am saying right now that how much I am grateful and
Me
appreciate
too.
And all
Of your
sides
Me
of
too.
that.
too.
Yeah,
and for your
absolutely.
willingness to be the one to
Yeah.
speak with us.
Voice of the
How
people.
how can you make your meetings open meetings? I mean, they're
Well,
open to the public to attend.
The
Why can't
chair,
you just-
right, you guys can decide whether you want public testimony or not, correct?
Not, it's the way it's agendized, and so
Okay.
today, she could not legally, and that's what it is, she could not legally open it to public
So it was
testimony.
already written in place.
What I
Okay.
said yesterday, and what I've been saying, is that we need the opportunity for people to come and interface with who's making the decisions. We had that a
Absolutely.
week ago, it's happening the first Monday of every month going forward. That's your opportunity, yep, where you can come in and you get 3 minutes of testimony to talk about whatever you want on the record, places you'd like to see your tax dollars, what you're happy with, what you're unhappy with. I fought for,
First Monday
of every month
Monday.
at 10 o'clock, that's also on the commissioners, that's when
Is
it's
that
been
here
scheduled.
in this
Yes,
room?
in this room,
At what time?
and I believe it's at 10 o'clock.
So that's been happening all year.
Nope,
Oh,
that happened
this
for the
new?
very first time. We had to get rid of a commissioner. He was not good for the citizens. Best and biggest tax break in Canyon County history when he left. But they would not support what their position was. I was elected and I don't have to listen and I make whatever decision I want now.
And
I
he's
said-
no longer.
He's no longer here. We have one that still echoes that philosophy. That's not my philosophy. And so when Commissioner Smith was running for office, I said, do you support? She said, yes, I do. So because we had 2 out of the 3 commissioners that said, we want to hear from the public. We had our very first meeting, it was highly successful. We talked about everything from Board of Equalization, assessed values, the jail. It was good.
Good, good.
And so when we can clear up misinformation,
That
and
was
we can,
Gary Smith though.
yes, she
That
supported
we-
that,
okay.
right. And
Okay.
she's
Does
a,
she have children in public school right now?
yes, they were at Valley View and now they're at Homedale.
So are they required to wear masks at school?
She left Valley View because they had a mandate and her kids were A students and went to F students.
So I'm beginning to see that she's, what you're saying, you see her heart, or you see her
Yes.
spirit.
Yes.
It's the influences that are pretty strong, that are.
We need public
Pressure,
leaders that are
yeah,
willing
but-
to stand up
Yeah,
against
I
us.
agree.
She
I
somehow needs
understand
to
that,
be
but I'm-
reminded that continuing this, regardless of the money or the funding or who's gonna pay for it, all that is mute. It's a mute point. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Mhm.
This was supposed to be 2 weeks to slow the spread and end the virus. We are now at a year this month,
I know, that's right.
okay? We're at a year.
And people are used to
This
that's-
is, this.
No, not everybody is used to it.
Thank you.
I've never
No,
been used to it,
thank
I've
you.
never
But this
chosen
is
it, ever.
becoming
Never,
normalized
not
Right.
once.
as a new normal, and I
Mhm.
did send a very late email urging you guys to vote no on this, that we want the traditional normal, not the new normal that the government has pushed this narrative for.
Yeah.
There is
Something
an
that she
agenda
may
behind
think
this.
about is not everybody can afford to move their kids from one place to the
Yeah.
next because they don't like that current mandate there.
And, yeah.
So she can help the rest of us not have to go through this, because some of us don't have the ability to move our children around.
Yes.
And the schools are following the order the county's putting out. So
Sort-
once
sort
again, it
of.
all reverts back to the county order. If that ends, everything else will stop.
Mark Ridley owns the Ridley
Mhm.
stores, right? I spoke to him. He was awesome
Oh,
talking to him.
good.
We live in Middleton,
Yes.
and sometimes I don't like to go to, into town. I
Right.
like to just jump over there. And it was a great conversation about, he's got a my issue was, why is it still there?
Yeah.
Why are all your employees have to wear it? 'Cause I asked a few of them, do you have to wear that? If you didn't wear it, would you get fired? Yes. So if it, like you're saying, so if it is never been a mask mandate, she's, position with the health district, that's right?
She's an emergency management operator for the county, she's employed by Canyon County.
Okay, so his thing was, he listens to the CDC, he listens, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's what he listens
know.
to. If it's not a mask mandate, what,
The CDC, I was.
It's always been a
I'm
recommendation.
so thankful I didn't go down that path of public health.
Yeah.
They are so biased and they have been given
Yeah.
so much, I call it unconstitutional
Yeah.
control. and
That's
overreach.
true,
Yeah.
that's very true.
Uh,
so how do we
Absolutely.
get those people, how do we get our community or our people that are taking that influence
Yeah.
from them to understand they don't have to?
Well,
You
and
know,
we try
how
to
do you
tell you,
do that?
she is a good replacement, because Tom Lee was the former representative for Southwest District Health.
Yes.
And she's in there going toe to toe, and Southwest District Health is having a lot of internal conflict right now,
Okay.
turnover. And so,
Turnover for the better?
Marvin and Tom Dale left, right?
Tom Dale was the commissioner that
Canyon
Karen
County.
replaced.
Yes, and then Marvin also left,
Who's
he was
Marvin?
for Washington County.
Oh,
So we have a new male
Oh, okay,
commissioner on the Southwest board.
oh,
in replacement
gotcha,
of him as well.
yes, okay. But she's pushing, you know, her statement, if you could hear what she said, was, we need to move away from any color designation. We need to move toward a pre-COVID existence. But the health control has a lot of
Okay.
vested interest. There's a lot of,
Yeah,
Nikki Zog, who's the director for Southwest
Yeah.
District Health,
conflict of interest.
you bombard her, go on her thing. I went over there for a meeting.
Well,
And-
that's one of the voices whispering in the ear.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
I witnessed, a pretty high, idolization, the first meeting she was present on the board to Nikki.
Mm.
And that concerned me greatly, because I know what her agenda is to push.
Yeah.
And that's to continue everything, to bring in
Yeah.
FEMA, which she pushed the board to vote on.
Well, and those
And
public health officials are data driven, that's great, but when I have 14 different colored graphs, what they're really good at is making graphs
Yeah.
instead of, give me information that's bulleted, that's got a well-rounded, so I can see all of it. In the absence of that, you blinded one side of my
Right.
decision-making process.
Yeah.
Right.
I object, I've objected from the beginning,
Yeah.
so,
Thank you.
anyway,
Thank
oh,
you
you're
for your
welcome.
time.
Well,
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you guys, thank you
Yes,
for being here, I was
absolutely.
excited when I saw people.
Yeah.
So,
We've been going to the legislature regularly since March
uh-huh.
of last year. And there's some terrible, unbelievable things going through that legislature, and one of them right now is, deregulating our water treatment testing.
Oh.
And